You're welcome to DBA TV, where we discuss everything international trade. In this series, you are going to be learning about what each of the Nigerian states have to offer as far as export is concerned. I have maintained that Nigerian states are billionaires in dollars and that they can be self-sufficient, but because the number of governors comes in with not the intention of generating income, but with the intention of sharing the money. But in this particular episode, we have put together a series of video for all the Nigerian states from Abia to Zamfara, and this to enable the new governors that are coming in, or the new administration in different states of the country, to be able to take a cue from what we've shared in this video, which, by the way, covers the peculiarity of each state apart from the preamble. It talks about the profile of the profit, of the debt and income of the state. It talks about the potential of the state. It talks about the purchaser of the product the state have to offer, and of course, the exportable product, and also the proposal we have for the state, and how the state can directly profit from exporting raw materials, manufactured goods, solid minerals, and agri-commodity. I believe this will be of interest to you and maybe to your governor or to commissioner, whoever it is in your state. Thank you very much for joining. Enjoy yourself as you learn through what maybe your state is what we are looking at today, what Nigerian state have to offer. Happy listening. Thank you very much. As usual, every week we have 7 sections. In this program, we have the preamble, the peculiarity of Nasarawa State, the income debt profile of Nasarawa State, the potential opportunity for export in the state, the purchasers of the product produced in the state, the proposal to the state government, to the government of the state on how the state can generate income from export, and then the profit the state can derive directly by exporting itself. All this we're going to be discussing within the next 15 minutes. Nasarawa State. Why must this state export or support exporters within its boundaries or within the borders of the state? Why must a state like Nasarawa State consider export? To avoid over-dependence on the federal government allocation, to boost the GDP of the state, to create opportunity for SME in Nasarawa State to grow, to decrease dependence of the SME in the state on the local market, to earn export proceeds and grow revenue for the state, to make farming and rural life become more lucrative, to gain global market share and recognition, to make the state the home of creativity and innovation. It's an industrialization catalyst for the state. It can make the state create jobs for youth, and the state will know the value of what it has as competitive advantage over and above its competition. It can be said to lead the way for other states to follow, can make the state to be independent of federal government allocation. There's numerous incentives for exporters in the state, opportunities to maximize the indigence of the state abroad, poverty eradication in the state. Export can help the state to keep the league of state depending on wasting assets like oil. It can help the state to revive its economy, can slow down rural and urban migration because the opportunity created in the rural areas by virtue of farming. Opportunity created in the rural areas. Opportunity created in the rural areas. Poverty eradication for the state. Tax-free opportunity for the state. Utilization of idle capacity of the company within the state. Idle capacity. viability of the state is boosted because now it can earn more income, not depending only on taxes, but being able to generate income directly from export. It can help the state to create wealth for its citizens, extract the product found in the state, yearn for more improvement because of competition, and zero in on the area of strength. What do you see today in this state? What do you see today in this state? Do you see unemployment in this state? And I'm not denying the fact that there's no unemployment. We're going to see data shortly. Do you see poverty in the Nasarawa state? And I'm not denying the fact that there is poverty. I'm only saying, can we begin to look at other opportunities available within the state? How about frustration as a result of lack of opportunity? Is that what you see? I have chosen in this session to see opportunities in farming. I've chosen in this section to see opportunities in mining and also to see opportunities in the population of the state. What are the peculiarities of this state? Nasarawa was created out of Plateau State in October 1, 1996 by the regime of General Sani Abacha. Its capital is Lafia. It's located in north central region of Nigeria, bordered in the west by Federal Capital Territory, the north by Kaduna, the south by Benue and Kogi, and in the east by Plateau and Taraba State. The state is nicknamed home of solid minerals because of the huge deposit of minerals within the state. Nasarawa State covers 27,000 square kilometers. It's bounded by differences, like I said earlier. The state is composed of different ethnic groups, and the opportunity exists in the state in the agribusiness space, like manufacturing, healthcare, tourism, energy, and mining. Total area is about 28,000 square kilometers. Capital is Lafia. It has 13 local governments. 13 local governments. Population is about 2.6 or 2.7 million people. The vegetation is Guinea savanna. Major crops: maize, cassava, groundnut, garden egg, rice, sorghum, sugarcane, pepper, cowpea, benny seed or sesame seed, melon, soya, cashew, shea butter. Solid mineral in the state: barite, coal, lead, zinc, gemstone, silica, iron ore, granite, tantalite, marble, mica. No wonder it is called the home of solid minerals. No wonder it is called the home of solid minerals. Marble, mica, cassiterite, limestone, aquamarine. There are 3 agricultural zones in the state: the southern zone, Obi, Awe, and Doma; western zone, Toto, Kokona, Karu; and northern zone, Nasarawa, Egon, Akwanga, and Wamba. Let's look closer into this state. Investment opportunity exists in rice, sugar, timber, sesame, tourism, hydro, iron, bauxite, salt, and gemstone. The state IGR is about 10.9. The advantage of this state is because it's closer to FCT. It has a large arable land, huge deposit of minerals, tourist attraction, cargo airport and international market, peaceful state within the region, high level of investment and economic advisory, council and investment support and facilitation team in the governor's office. The working population of this state is 1.7 million. Those not in labor force is about 631,000 people. 631,000 people. Those not in labor force, 631,000 people. That is huge. Underemployment rate is 31%, and unemployment rate is 29%. All right, the profile. Let's look at the profile of Nasarawa State. Nasarawa State has growing trend of IGR 12.4 billion as of 2020. Federal allocation about 47.5 billion. This state effectively has income of about 60 billion altogether, effectively. The total debt in Naira is about 81 billion. Total debt in Naira is about 81 billion. Let's look deeper into this state. This state is one of the very, some of the states you will say are not viable. Look at it. The recurrent expenditure of this state is about 49 billion. But the IGR of the state is about 12.5 billion. So that means this state is spending ×4 of its own income, ×4. Why? Dependence on federal allocation. Dependence on federal allocation. This is one of the states that is often said this state is not viable. The state is not viable. The state is not viable. Why? The state is not viable because of what it earns. And the state is not even spending a lot in capital expenditure. But remember the name of this state? Home of solid mineral. You know, sometimes you just see different paradox in our state. A state so rich and yet so poor. It calls itself and pride itself as the home of solid mineral. It calls itself and pride itself as the home of solid minerals. But this state, this same state, this same state do not generate any money from export of those minerals. Is that not interesting? Nothing is generated from those minerals. But the state is a home of solid minerals. Let's look at the report of budget regarding this state. According to budget report, Nasarawa State Home of Solid Mineral performed relatively solid on budget 2021 fiscal performance ranking as it was able to move from 24th position to 16th. The improvement was due to improvement in capital spending from previous year. Nasarawa State grew its capital expenditure by 109% from, can you see, 16 to 33. From 16 to 33. Looking at the capital expenditure per person, it was observed that the state spent about 11,000 per citizen. So the performance is based on its ranking on, not on its peers, but based on the fact that the state have really not been taking this kind of expenditure seriously before. But this time around, it was commended for giving it a kind consideration. A kind consideration. In terms of sector prioritization for capital expenditure, this state spent 18 on the social sector, representing 55% of the 33 billion spent on capital expenditure. This is significant human capital development as the state is spending more on health, education, women welfare, youth, and sport. And this is what the whole idea around human development index, welfare, youth, and sport. Women affairs, youth, and sport. What the civil society needs to do is to ensure that their expenditure recorded in the audit report are well used effectively and efficiently. Nasarawa State total expenses dropped by 2.7% in 2020, placing the category of 31 states in the country who prioritize spending on operating expense over capital. That's it. Spending more money, even though there's a growth in capital expenditure, but when you look at it relatively, you will realize that this state operating expense is prioritized over capital expenditure. The most significant reduction in state operating expense was in overhead cost. In an analysis of revenue performance, the state did relatively well in spite of the pandemic created by growing internally generated revenue. The largest component of the growth came from payee, which stood at 9.51 billion. Why direct evidence is needed, it may be speculated that this growth in payee collection could be due to improvements in the capital, in the state capacity to collect taxes due to public financial management reform. Despite increase in IGR, the state is number 24 in IGR in Nigeria. The debt also had a negative growth from 103 to 74. In comparison to other states, Nasarawa is the 23rd most indebted state according to the size of external debt, and by 30 and 30th by the domestic size of its debt. What are the potential opportunities within the borders of Nasarawa state? Farming is the main occupation of the people of the state. It provides food as well as income. Crop produce include yam, rice, maize, guinea corn, beans, soya beans, acha, Benny seed. The state also has precious metal like columbite, a major input in the production of steel, coal, energy source, aquamarine, a substance used in the production of jewelry. Farming and mining for tin and columbite are the primary activity in the state. Nasarawa is a market center for yam, sorghum, millet, soybeans, shea nut, and cotton growth in surrounding area. The town is served by a secondary school and a hospital, and is located in the intersection of local road that lead to Kefi and Benue River Port of Loko and Umasia. Let's look at the major crop again. Yam, rice, cassava, groundnut, garden egg, melon, soya, cashew, sesame seed, shea butter. Solid mineral, barite, coal, clay, lead, zinc, salt, gemstone, silica, iron ore, granite, tantalite, marble, mica, cassiterite, limestone, and aquamarine. So who are the purchaser of this product? The corn. The market for corn alone is 36 billion. So this state can decide to produce and export corn 36 billion. 36 billion. I think that is interesting, actually. Where is the market? Spain, Germany, Egypt, Iran, Mexico, Peru. In Africa, 3.7. In Africa, 3.73 billion. In Africa, 3.73 billion. And this includes Egypt being a major buyer, Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, and South Africa. How about granules? The market size is 3.1 billion. China, Vietnam, Indonesia, Netherlands, Germany, Russia, Mexico, Canada are major markets. United Kingdom, Spain, and France are major markets. In Africa, the market size is 171. Algeria, South Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, Rwanda, and Libya are major markets. How about rice? Rice. Iran, Iraq, China, Saudi Arabia, Benin Republic, Cote d'Ivoire, South Africa, United States, France, Germany. $24.7 billion in demand. Let's look locally. In Africa, 6 billion. and 12% of that is from Benin Republic alone. We all know where the rice that go to Benin is going. Benin is importing rice more than every state, every country in Africa, and Benin is not up to Lagos population. So you and I know where the rice is going. Cote d'Ivoire, South Africa, Senegal, Cameroon, Ghana, Mozambique, Egypt, Togo, Kenya, Angola, Guinea, Somalia, Madagascar, Djibouti, 6.06 billion. Soybeans, China, Japan, Spain, Iran, Mexico, Argentina, Egypt, 55.2 billion. China alone is importing almost 60 billion, 60% of the $55 billion in soybeans import around the world. Africa import of soybeans very low, 1.73. Anybody thinking of exporting this need to definitely look at other markets. Definitely look at other markets. 1.73 billion. Which country imports cashew nuts? 7.46 billion. Vietnam, China, India. Germany, Netherlands, United States. These are the major importers of fresh and dry cashew nuts. In Africa, $83 million, Ghana, South Africa, Egypt, Tunisia, Algeria, Togo, Morocco. Which country imports sesame seed? 3.54 billion. China, Japan, Turkey, India, South Korea, Germany, Egypt, United States. If we zero in on Africa to look at those that import in Africa, Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco, Togo, Ghana, and Algeria, 167 million. And before we go, let's discuss my proposal. Every week I propose to the state what I think the state is capable of doing. So the issue is this. Our state have what it takes to support the business in the state. And my proposal is basically talking about how can the government support the businesses in their state? How can the government support the businesses in their state? That's basically my focus. How? How can the government support the various businesses in their state? Look at it, particularly the SME. Particularly the SME. If SME is the one involved in primary production, harvest, and transport, harvesting and transport, primary processing and storage, secondary processing and packaging, marketing and sales, logistics and export and distribution, SME 1, SME 2, SME 3, you create inefficient value chain, operator, low processing capacity and output, few job creation, low quality and packaging, high cost of production, non-competitive product in the export market. In the export market. But if the state governments partner with a private sector to set up a processing plant, let's say, for example, in Nasarawa state, they can decide to do it for maybe cashew nut. I bring in my cashew nut, they will remove the shell, roast it, package it, ready for export. And they will do it for me in my brand, and I'll pay per unit. This increased farming because there will be more demand to buy. Farmer will not have preserved losses because there's a factory that will process, and there are SME2 will buy from SME1 and give it to large corporate who will be the one to process. But the SME2 does not need to worry about NAFDA, power. He worries more about market. Put all his energy into the market. He creates efficient value chain operator, high processing capacity and output, good quality and packaging, low cost of production, commercial product in the export market, increase job creation, decrease inequality, and decrease insecurity. Enough to export, to support exporter in this state, to enter into the export market in Africa, Europe, and America in a secure and sustainable way, the state can do the following: partner with representative at destination, set up warehouse at destination, set up an entity, agent or distributor at destination, targeted destination, partner with independent agent and distributor at destination, or organize and sponsor manufacturers for exhibition in the export market. In the export market. What is the profit that the state can derive? So let's imagine the state exporting itself and the state is exporting sesame seed. So let's imagine that this state is using half of the arable land for sesame seed processing, half of the arable land. Yield per hectare, according to agronomists, 1 metric ton per hectare. That means we can generate 520,000 metric tons. This is more than what the whole Nigeria is currently producing. And it's one state. At $1,300 pricing, this thing can be sold at about $676 million. At this thing of 415, that's 280 billion. When you remove the cost of farming, the profit of the farmer, the cost of export, you will see have about 222 billion. This state have this year a budget of 114. Just 114. If this state do export, SMC can provide funding for the budget of the state times 2 for 2 years. And this can be consummated within 6 months. Consider that SMC gestation is very short. How will this happen? How will this happen? The state, what the state need to do basically is to partner with a private sector who will drive this process. The state can set up a special purpose vehicle with the state having 80% and the private sector having the remaining. And the state can make funds available for seedling. The state can make funds available for seedling, it can make funds available for cultivation and the like. Support the farmer, train them, but give them purchase order and give them a guarantee that the state government is going to buy from you. Produce for us, and we're going to buy from you this quantity. And the state can actually also prevent anybody, they can make a law that prohibits that the state government only want to be the one to buy that product. Those that want to partner with the state government will do it, so that those that want to buy for export private can go to other states of the country. The state government wants to make money from what he produces for his people. For his people. The state can then get a collection center where this will be put together, clean, find buyer, export, present document for payment, get paid, pay the farmers. Remember, I gave them guarantee. The state can do this at a cheaper rate by the state. The farmer will be paid afterwards because you give them guarantee, so they know there's a demand, there's a buyer, and the state government is buying from them. And the state government can share his proceeds with his neighbor or with his partner. Imagine what this will do for the state. The impact of the suggested model for the state goes beyond generation of revenue. It has a humongous impact on employment generation and increased economic activity in the state for diversifying the economy of any state in Nigeria. This model can also be replicated by federal government at the federal level, especially for the exploitation of solid minerals. So there's no reason why the state government cannot generate money directly from export. And I think this is the question we should be asking our governors. When the governor comes, I'll build school, I'll build road, I'll build this, I'll build that. It seems as if we are not asking the question, how? How? Where will you get the money? Are you going to rely only on Abuja giving you the money, or you have come up with a way to get the money out? How will you generate it? How will you make it possible? How will you make it happen? These are very important and critical questions we'll be asking at state government. All right. Thank you very much for joining today. See you next week and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.